Good morning. Good morning. It is it's about 2:45 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym. It's Thursday. You ever heard that saying? And I can't even get the exact saying, but with more comes more responsibility. Basically, if you want more money, it takes on more responsibility. If you want another promotion in your job, responsibility takes on more. You got to be able to do more if you want to get more. But we know that you have to do more to get more, but you have to sustain once you get there. And what I'm going to tell you might come across as a shock, but I think this is what separates people from, one is, let's be very clear, everybody, I like that story of the man who dies, goes to heaven, say, hey, God, what's up, dude? You didn't make good on what you said. And God took him down a hallway and looked inside the room, and inside the room was a bunch of different little boxes, and on one of the boxes was the man's name. And when the man looked into the box to see his name, he noticed that when he looked in, there was a bunch of things that were intended for him over his life. And God said, these things I had stored up for you, but you didn't ask. But more so just the name it and claim it, which is the easy way of kind of getting everything out, is, God, I want this and you shall provide. Well, let me ask you something. If you got to put in the work to even get promoted, how much work do you have to put in once you're promoted to keep it? So probably one of the biggest misconceptions about success is I only have to work up to the point and then I get it. Whereas I have a mindset that says I will never stop. I may make adjustments, even with my workout. I may make adjustments, but I'll never stop. I may make adjustments with my eating, but I'll never stop eating healthy. See, because of lately, I've added some cookies and some other stuff that I probably shouldn't have, and I kind of feel the after effects of it. But it doesn't mean that I can't add to it or take from it. It just means that the main source of what got me to where I'm at, I'll never stop. And if I want more health, then I would eat more healthy. If I wanted more success, then I would learn how to become more of a valuable asset, because you get paid for what you know, what you can offer. The value that you bring to the table dictates what your value is to somebody who's willing to pay you. So the breakdown between what you have coming to you in your life and what kind of work you have to put in, I think the breakdown ends up being, how long do I have to do this for? Because some people will fall down on their knees and this is their prayer. Some people will fall down on their knees and say, God, haven't I been punished enough? Haven't I endured enough? Listen to how that goes. Listen to how that conversation with God goes. Hey, God, haven't I been through enough? Hey, God, haven't I lost enough? Right? Versus, thank you for making it happen. Thank you for waking me up. People will pray to God their problems, and last time I checked, problems never excited anybody. Problems never excited anybody. So why would you think that God would be any different? He already knows your problems. See, we all want promotion. Physically, mentally, economically. We got t-shirts that say don't wish for it, work for it. There's too many people that want to wish for it, don't want to do any of the work involved with it. But then the question comes back up. How long do I have to do this? Forever. See, I'm committed to my lifestyle forever. Now, you might say, well, wow, that's a little bit harsh right there. Forever? Well, what do you want? Because if the process that you are going through got you to where you want to go, why would you ever want to give up? If eating right allowed you to lose that weight, why would you want to give up? If the hard work got you to where you wanted to be, why wouldn't you want to work even harder? See, because here's the catch. It gets easier. I went to the gym 2 years ago. I walked in there. I couldn't curl 10 pounds. I walk into the gym now and I pick up a 50-pound weight and I curl it with ease. It got easier. I used to get up and go to the gym and cry and wonder whether or not I was making the right decisions. Am I tripping? Am I bugging? Now I get up and I'm excited I can't get out the door fast enough. It gets easier. But how do you know it gets easier? Time. Time reveals all things. It gets easier. If you can manage to not quit before you get there. And then once you see that this got easier, then you can add something else and say, well, if that got easier, then maybe this works like that too. And then you start figuring out the theory of how things work. Then you come to a point, and this is the point I'm at, where you say, God, all right, listen. I know you have something great in store for me. So I'm going to keep working diligently. And I know that your timing is perfect. So God, you will make sure that what I have coming to me comes to me on a perfect time. Because your word said that you are a God that cannot lie. And then boom. Let that be. And keep working. And get a mindset. I won't stop. I will never stop. Not today, not tomorrow, not in a year, not in 20 years. And watch the blessings come. The saying goes, he who is given a lot is expected a lot. It's expected. If you have a give up, quit mentality after the first 2, 3, 5 times you've been knocked down and you start saying that desperate prayer, God, I've been through so much. That's such a raggedy, desperate. God is looking at you like, dude, I've given you so much more, and all you can sit here and tell me about is all the problems you done got to go through. he knows you ain't ready. Because a winner doesn't talk about the losses. You'll never hear an athlete, you'll never hear a superstar get on and let somebody else take the credit for why things went wrong. Never make excuses for how they played. And never talk about what happened in the past. Superstars say, I wish I had shot the ball better. Superstars say, we're going to go and plan to play even better than we did this time so we can get the win. God already knows the problem. God wants to know, will you trust him enough to suck down the problem and make known the prayer? Make known the request of what it is that you want versus dredging up what's happening. I tell people who work for me, I don't want to hear about the problem. I want to hear your solution. Anybody can talk about the problem. They don't hire people in top executive positions because they can see the problem. They hire them because they can identify the problem, but yet they can expound on the solution. Too much is given, much is expected. You have to know that if you want something out of this life, you're going to have to give something up. And God don't want to hear your victim mentality. You got to give something up in order to get something. And if that means that you got to go through a little bit of struggle, you got to go through a little bit of fight, it's simply there to build you to be a better person. All it's simply doing is preparing you for the blessing that you are asking for. Because if you can endure when things are bad, then it makes you know what you can do when things are going good. Because God does not want to give somebody who at the end of the day is just going to turn their back on them. You know, like you first were going to church, things were going all good. And when you got that big check, you know, you gave some tithes out of it. Remember that? But then when things started going bad, you started turning your back on the church. You say, I'm not going to church because, you know, I got to figure this problem out. I ain't got time to be sitting in the chairs trying to hear what dude's talking about. I got to go figure this problem out. I got to go work overtime. I got to go. You know what? My check's a little bit short. I had to take care of the engine. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to hook you up, God. Not this time. Give me an IOU. I got your back. And when God sees that you're willing to forsake him and take on the problems yourself, that's not faith. And that, I love when my pastor always says, take another lap. You're not ready. Sit on the bench. You're not ready. Everything about your actions is telling human beings you're not ready. God forbid God is sitting up there saying, you want what? And I can't even trust you to give me the 10% you owe me? I only asked you for 10%. Did you forget who helped you get that? I only asked you for 10%. I let you keep 90. Oh, but you ain't going to show up to church. You're going to forsake the assembly of other believers. You're not ready. So what's happening is the things that are happening for you, to you, are building what's inside of you. So you have to keep pressing forward. Remember, to who a lot is given, a lot is expected. So you have to stay in patience, you have to stay in faith, and you have to just stay cool and just know that what you're asking for will happen.